I am homeless in the threatening. I am a founder, does not go to prison, but I make threats as to who, what, when, where, why, and how. I do not go to prison because you threaten me. Something response due is myself being inside of a prison already at the time that I hear a speech offense. That's not due to myself, the founder, but it's being created that way. So God knows that you're doing that. Tongue clicker, Father. You need some batteries, Father. I am finding that it's homeless here, and I don't have the threatening that I know who I am. Thank you. Dude, it doesn't know because it's not going to kill you in the money. I know who I am, and I am myself since the beginning of Alive. Who the first person who's not myself who can see me is Donna, and I am myself here, but not come. I am died out of myself is here. And that would be just before the year 1980, and it's Donna Body, but she didn't have a name yet. That's her though. And who is it? Who is Rose Kaleko? I know, but it's Donna. That's why she won't leave my house. Something's wrong with this feminine senior person, grandma named Rose Kaleko, but she's not really the one in my house. I know who it is. It's Donna, and I can't afford that you think that it's Rose. It's not Rose, it's Donna. And Rose, there's something wrong with her, but she doesn't have the pure prejudice of being a Trump. Trump is Donna, she's Donna Trump, and she's the problem in my house. But you are illegal alive shunt factories in public, and you're due in prison, but you don't understand why you're due in prison. And in public, it's not really a school. You're not allowed to say, I don't know why I'm in public. I want to see everything wrong. And then if I end up in prison, oh well. That's you not knowing how to go to prison in advance of doing something wrong. You shouldn't be doing something wrong in public, and you just walk around and you mix in and blend in with a lot of strangers who don't know you interiorly. I guess you would find that you don't know your own self interiorly that way. You did put yourself out of your own recording of yourself, but God knows why you're in public. He also knows why you're not in jail and prison. You have to be there on the point that you did something wrong in the threatening. You go in advance of doing something wrong in public. If you accidentally do something wrong in public, you have to turn yourself into jail and prison for admission into jail and prison on that point, and then you have to report who, what, when, where, why, and how to the judge so that it can all be put into jail and prison with you. That's you taking other people with you to go into jail and prison with you. And you've not been threatening myself is not true. I don't go to jail with you. I'm a founder, has to create my own prison. I can't just go into the nearest jail and prison. That's not for myself. And you threaten me when you talk to me, and you, so many of you talk to me for 45 years of a life. You don't stop talking to me about how you want me to go to jail and prison. And if I'm in there, then you'll go in there, and you're not on a point that way to myself. You're not on a point that way to your own God. If you're angry with your own genitals, you're trying to mix me in with that. You're angry with your own genitals, and you don't put your genitals in prison on a point. You want to go in there with somebody else. You think that's not significant to you. because you don't die that way in a jail. Well, you would fight in a jail, but not have a point to die on. And the jail doesn't want to house you that way. And you're loitering in the jail, and you're risking that you would be put out of a jail because you didn't die in there. And then you owe something like parole, that you would voluntarily go back into a jail, but you would have left a jail already, and that you weren't in there before on a point. And that's the jail telling you you don't know how to be in a jail on a point. You don't know how to be in genitals. You can't be yourself. You're already so low that you have to worry about dying inside of a prison or a jail and prison problem. And you don't know how to go into a jail because you have to die. Like you have to urinate. If you have a signal to urinate, it just comes out. You don't know how to just go into a jail because you have to die. Like you have yourself is breathing. You have to die in a jail. You don't know how to get in there because you must. You don't know how to get from here to here. You don't travel. You don't walk. You're doing a wheelchair in a jail because you don't know how to walk to get yourself into a jail. You cannot mix with me and talk to me like I'm one of you when I'm not eligible to be in your jails, and you're threatening that you're angry with yourself, with myself. You don't understand, don't know what, and you want me in a jail, and you'll go in there and see about it and watch me and see what happens to me in the jail. If you're watching me in a jail, I can't die that way myself. Even if I was in the threatening like one of you, and you seem to think I'm an applicant to be in your creator because I have to pay for everything. And if I don't have the money, I don't get what I need. And you think I'm an applicant to be in your creator so that I don't need anything my way. But you don't have leverage that way. You make no such thing threats to me when you talk to me about myself with yourself is not myself. And that's you talking to yourself, and I'm not you. I'm not you to you. And you think that's free. And you wouldn't do that to people around yourself, or maybe you do. And I'm just seeing that up close and too close. I can't answer your questions because I can see you did something wrong to me. I'm not here to just record who did something wrong to me because they didn't know how to be themselves, and then they stand around and wait for me to pay for myself. You don't have enough money in your wallet for if you break a glass window and you call a window company like Anderson Window Company to come and take out the old glass window frame and all the old broken glass and put in a brand new window that fits and install it so that it doesn't slide out, and then install it so that the glass is firm, that it won't break because it's new. Because the glass that you broke wasn't yours to break it. And you owe that you replaced it in God. And then you have to go to jail. You cannot do something wrong and then mill around in public. You don't know who you hurt because you're constantly threatening somebody you already did something wrong to, as if you are in a prison, but you're not. You're out in the public. Do you have what it takes to pay a window company? Do you have $10,000 to pay them for the replacement of a window that you broke because you did something wrong with yourself, and you owe that you fixed it on the point that you had an exact glass window everybody could see was broken? Do you have that much money in your wallet in cash? Because you keep making speech offenses to myself. I just got one today. Who's Lisa Sisterman? How was the pizza? You owe me like $800 million in cash for making that speech offense and making a little picture that smiles with a dog that didn't bite you and stop you from posting a message on the internet comments. I don't know you. And it don't stop. Why is God making me this angry? You think you didn't really know me that way? Of course not. You don't belong in public. You belong in prison if your name is Lisa. Why didn't you alive in prison with the name Lisa? If your name is Lisa and you find you're not in prison, go directly to the nearest jail and turn yourself in for being named Lisa. Convince them that your name is Lisa and that you stay in the jail even if you have to work there to stay there. Offer to clean the floors. Offer to work in any place in the prison, opening door locking, until you open it for yourself and stay there. Use your dog to get into the jail if you can't get the jail into its own doggy jail. A hospital for animals. You're so outrageous, checking my address, which is there to threaten the creation of myself. Then I need myself deceased out of my address because of what you are, not exactly who. You're so outrageous. Oh, I can't stand it anymore.